Hello, ma'am. Welcome to Love
Hi.
Heals Cancer and Zenonco. I'm Justina from zenonco.io. This is our Love Heals Cancers and Zenonco's Cancer Healing Journey talks, where we invite speakers who have gone through cancer, maybe as a patient, caregiver, or survivor. These CHGs are very close to our heart because many patients tell us that we listen to other people's journey, and it inspires them. So it helps them to boost their confidence and give them hope that if others can go through this and successfully beat the disease, then why can't they?
Right.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us for today's CHA talk. So could you please introduce yourself and tell us how it all began?
Sure. Thank you very much for inviting me. And as I was mentioning, the moment I saw you, I love the name. I love your entire persona. So wonderful. Thank you very much, Justina, for inviting me. And it's a pleasure coming onto your platform and sharing my story, my usual normal story. Okay. And if it actually helps anybody, I will be very grateful for that. Okay. So having said that, I'm Uma De, and currently I'm based out of Pune, Maharashtra. And about myself, I'm born and brought up in a very small place called Kharagpur. From there, I came on to Calcutta for my studies. And from there, I got my first job. And it was initially in Calcutta. Then post marriage, I shifted to Pune. Since then, I'm here for the last 9 years now. I have a small child. She is of 7.5 years old. And I live here with my husband and my daughter, along with my mother-in-law. And that's all pretty is my story. And I'm associated with an organization for the last 15 years now. I'm an HR by profession, as well as a student of HR. I love, engaging myself in a lot of self-development activities and community development activities. So this was pretty about me, but in 2020, I was struck with this disease. And in my case, it was an ovarian cancer. And I was detected when it was on the verge of third stage. It was about to be, metastasis was about to begin. Okay. And that's how it got detected. And thereafter, my treatment continued for almost close to 1.5 years. I went through 23 rounds of chemotherapy and a huge surgery. And it was Corona, full-fledged Corona at that point in time. Twice I was struck with Corona as well. So in between my treatment, however, with God's grace and with the support of my family and my well-wishers, I could survive. And it's last year that I joined back my workplace. I had taken a sabbatical and I'm continuing now. So initially I started off with a part-time job. And from this month, 1st July, I have gone back full-time. And I'm taking up, little by little, I'm taking up some further responsibilities as well. Okay. And apart this, now in my second stint, so I consider this as a second stint of my life, which I would like to dedicate, doing whatever is possible from my end towards people. Okay. And especially looking at cancer survivors with a special focus towards ovarian cancer survivors, because today there are a lot of young women are detected by it. And as you know, as a part of the treatment, that organ is removed from our body. Okay. And with that, with young girls who are not married yet, the chances of, carrying a child depletions. So my mission, along with my oncologist, Dr. Nikhil Parvate, is that we come up with a center in India wherein, we can store the ovary, we can, take out the ovary and keep it safe, let the patient go through the treatment and again implant the ovary back so that she can become a mother. So that's a very novel concept of my oncologist. And I shared that dream with him. So to come up with something. So this particular episode, and I'm hopeful that, in future also, I would be getting some opportunity, some way to come up with this. So that is what I am now looking ahead to. Yeah.
That's wonderful, ma'am, because to come up after overcoming your experience and then coming up for others with a great idea, it takes a lot of effort to actually talk to a professional medical person and then discuss and coming up, helping others, reaching out. Yeah, that needs a lot of effort. So could you please tell us what was the initial symptoms and how did it get diagnosed?
Diagnosed. Okay. Very frankly speaking, there were no symptoms for me. Okay. It was lockdown, March onwards, it was lockdown. 2020, it was lockdown, and I was working from home, doing all the household stuff with my kid all around, and I didn't imagine that I was carrying a 9 centimeter tumor inside me. All of a sudden, it's that happened that I started having a headache, not headache, shoulder ache, shoulder pain. So I started off with my shoulder pain. So initially I went to my house physician. It was a virtual call that I made to him, and he gave me some medicine, some muscle relaxant, and maybe probably some painkillers. Okay, which I had, and thereafter I started. I felt that I'm having a bloated stomach. So after about 7 days, even then there was no remission of pain. So I again contacted him. So that time he mentioned that, why don't you come over? So I was all guarded, wearing that as if I'm going to Mars, that kind of a costume I had worn, and I had gone to him. And then after that, he told me that, well, I seen that you have collected water in your stomach. So why don't you refer to one surgeon? So it is a small clinic very close to my house. And at that point in time, there was a lady surgeon available, at that point in time. So I went to her, and then she, administered. And then she told me, Uma, I think you should get a USG done. And during the USG, the radiologist was telling me, ma'am, don't you feel any pain? I said, no. How come? Because you are already carrying a tumor and it is of such gigantic size. So we are very stunned that you are not feeling any pain. I said, no, it is absolutely benign. Okay. And that time he asked me, who is along with you? I said, I came alone because my husband is part of a government concern. So he moves around from places, from one place to other. And currently he's posted at Sholapur. So that time also he was at Sholapur. So I went all alone. So he told me that, no, I think you should you should call your husband, because this needs further investigation. You should get a CT scan done. I said, no, is there anything wrong? He said, no, but don't delay. I'm not very sure, but there is something wrong. So you should get a further investigation. And that's how I was left with. So the very next day, I went to a nearby hospital, as in very close by, because as in Corona, I couldn't take much chances. So I went there again. I went alone, and I got a CT scan done. That evening, my husband came back, so we got the report the very next day. And then doctor further asked me for a few tests, and the test reports were not that good. Okay, neither was that CT report. So the gynecologist told me from that very hospital that you should refer to an oncologist, and that was a a great shocker to all of us. That what is this? I'm all fine. I don't think I'm carrying such a bloody disease. So I went to my oncologist, Dr. Nikhil Parvate. So he told me that, oh, come on, I don't think this is the case. Let me have further investigation. So he asked me to go through histopathology, and the histopathology confirmed, so all this took me, say, from May 8th, the first investigation started. And by 12th of May, it was all said and done. It was verified, and I was declared that I'm on the third stage of cancer, and it had to be immediate. The chemotherapy should begin, without any day loss. So from the very next day, my treatment began under Dr. Nikhil Parvate. He was my gyno-oncologist. Okay. And also I had another doctor who was a medical oncologist, Dr. Gawande, both from Aditya Birla Hospital in Pune. So I got treated from there, and that's all.
So, ma'am, was there any family history from your side?
Very good question. Yeah. So I did not have any such family history, as in my doctors were saying that, does your mother had, or your grandmother had, from my mother's side. But my father, at a very later stage, so when he was almost close to 75, that time he was diagnosed with throat cancer. Okay, it was a throat cancer, and but he got perfectly fine. He went through radiotherapy, and then he was all fine. But then his death, which also happened in 2020, was not owing to cancer. It was a normal, cardiac arrest which has happened. So, but my mother's side, nobody had, and of course, BRCA1 and BRCA2 tests. These two tests are usually conducted after chemotherapy is done. Those have come negative for me. So clinically, it is so that I don't have a history. I don't carry the genes, okay, from my parents, but still they say that it's a genetic disorder.
So, ma'am, what was your reaction? Because it was out of nowhere, as you said, there was no initial symptoms as such. So, what was your reaction when you got diagnosed, and how was your family reacting to the
Yeah,
same?
yeah. So it was a very shocking, as you understand. The very news is heartbreaking, as well as it puts you to a level wherein the first thought that comes to you that probably my life is going to come to an end. Okay. And my child at point in time was 5.5 years old. Okay. She was very small. She didn't understand what is mama going through. Okay. Definitely it was, I also went through a similar experience and similar emotions. But having said that, my oncologist was my savior. Okay. Definitely he's a great doctor, but more than that, I think he's a wonderful psychologist as well. Okay. So the first thing when he broke the news and we went to him with that histopathology report, he was like, I don't believe that, at this age, I was at that point in time 38. Okay. So he said that at such an early age, one cannot go through all this. But then it had happened. And then obviously I was in tears in front of him. So was my husband. So he was like, hey, listen, but I still have hope. It's not that I have left the hope for you. I still have hope, and you have to fight it out. So I'm sure you will. So that confidence in him, and that's the first time I'm meeting him, or probably the second time I'm meeting him. Before that, I went and he asked me to get the histopathology done. So that was the second meeting. And then he told me, I believe you will be able to do it. And that gave me a lot of confidence. And I felt, yeah, of course, I think I let me see how things goes. And then he told me that it would be a kind of a sandwich treatment, wherein I will be going through 3 rounds of chemotherapy, then this surgery, which will remove the uterus, ovary, and everything, and then again 3 rounds of chemotherapy. That was initially being told to me. Okay. And of course, after coming back, I did took a second opinion. I did take a second opinion, and I went to Dr. Advani. So I'm very glad, and I thank that friend of my husband who helped us to get Dr. Advani's appointment. It's very difficult to find his appointment. I'm sure you know who Dr. Advani is a president awardee. Okay, it's a great oncologist, living legend. So I had a video chat with him. He at that point in time he was in Bombay. His chamber is in Bombay, Chembur. There's no point in going because it was Corona outside. So I had a virtual chat, and then he told me his sentences were that I have gone through all your reports, and it's just a matter of 6 months. So 6 chemos and 1 surgery, then you are free. So that statement, that then I am free, gave me so much of confidence. He told me your line of treatment is absolutely fine. You need not have to come to and rush to Tata Medical. get your treatment done under that doctor itself who suggested you this line, and I am gratifying it, and that was it. Okay. After that, believe you me, I have not thought an iota towards what am I going through, what will happen. I have taken every stance of it very boldly because I had to survive for my daughter. And whenever I used to go and take my first chemotherapy experience, I'll tell you, I was started with a very advanced drug. Okay, so they had started with the top notch. They thought that in case a top notch doesn't, I'm not able to deal with it, probably they will bring down the dosage. And after the first bottle went through, I, I was encircled with 4 physicians, 1 nurse, and my husband. And all these pair of eyes were looking at me, that first half an hour, how is this body reacting? And I was all fine. I was all fine. And that's what's it. So that high dose treatment continued for me for the next few months. So then with the in between, I had my surgery. And after my this primary treatment was over, doctor told me, since you have come up with it at a very early age, we will continue 17 rounds, further 17 rounds of chemos with that high dose. Okay. So I said, okay, fine. So I had to go through that. So I have taken it. I had taken it on my stride because I know that I have to come out. And there is no other way to come out of it unless until you take these therapies, right? So that's how I have actually taken this up. Definitely keeping my child's face in front of me, because, and that was first thing. And second thing was the day when I went for my chemotherapy at hospital, I saw, children at the age of 4, 5, sitting there, and they were taking chemotherapies. So they were actually my first, I would say my willpower came seeing them, that if that child could endure what I am enduring, I definitely can do, if that little child who has just come onto this earth, I have seen 38 years of this earth. Okay. And they are so small. If they are going through all this, then why can't I? So definitely these two instances, my child and those children had given me the strength to surpass this journey.
Yeah, ma'am, you're very strong enough to, go through everything and still stay strong until still you are like smiling very brightly.
Right.
So, and also, ma'am, you're very fortunate enough because it's very hard to find a perfect doctor for you.
Yes.
The journey itself takes like 10 doctors and thousands of opinions. So, yeah, the struggle itself is in the treatment.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to like to convey something here, that we should always go to a proper scientific treatment. I think, there are a lot of people who would like to take the alternative medical science therapies. But I feel this is a disease to not to be taking lot of chances, because as such, you don't get, I would say I'm blessed that I got this chance. Okay. But not many are. Okay. So whatever time you have, go through proper medical treatment, visit a cancer hospital, whichever area you are in, okay, and go through a proper moderated treatment, because otherwise, you would unnecessarily call for further risks.
Yeah. Right, ma'am. So, ma'am, could you please specify what all treatment did you go through, and was there any alternative you were thinking of?
Yeah. Right, right. So definitely, I was very focused in terms of from the day one, and thanks to my husband, because it was a very tough decision for him as well. Because at that time, see, I am a recipient. I was not in a state of mind to take any call, to take any decision making. So it was absolutely on his shoulders to take a call, and I have just shut my mind and I have followed. I have become a follower without not letting any cross questioning happening in my mind. I trusted the words of my physicians and my husband. He told me we will go to Aditya Birla only. I followed him. we went to we went to Dr. Nikhil. Dr. Nikhil, whatever he mentioned, I just blindfolded, I trusted him and I followed him. Believe you me. I followed Dr. Advani also when he mentioned that you don't need to come to Bombay, because we were in two minds that whether we should go to Bombay and continue with the treatment, or should I happen, make it happen with Aditya Birla only, because that was close by. Okay. So then he mentioned that no, absolutely not. It's a fabulous treatment that Dr. Nikhil has mentioned. Please go ahead with it. And we did that. Okay. So it was, a proper medically diagnosed treatment, wherein I went through chemotherapies. I was given an advanced drug called Avastin. I went through a surgery which led to hysterectomy, and post that again there were 3 rounds of chemos. After that I was given Avastin for another 17 sessions. So total 23 rounds of chemos which has happened. Now when everything got over, okay, it had taken a lot of toll, and in between I had twice COVID. Okay, so it had taken a major toll on my health, because I was very weak. I was not in a position to do a lot of things. But even then, my physicians had advised me, my medical oncologist, Dr. Jayant Gawande, he always mentioned me that, Uma, you should keep yourself busy. Till the time you feel that I am not able to do this particular task, you need rest, you take rest, but don't think that you are sick. That is the last thing that you are going to do. And I, even though I was on sabbatical, but household, whatever was possible from my end, I used to do. Entire child care, or his or her studies, everything I was taking care of. So that's how I kept myself very busy and occupied throughout the day. And after this entire uh, almost close to, so May 2020 it began, and it got over in September 2021. Okay, so this, after this entire period, I started few Ayurvedic uh, therapy, not therapy as in medicine, or should I say, or few say like Giloy. Okay, I used to take Giloy juice, I used to take wheatgrass juice. Okay, I used to take papaya leaf, boiled papaya leaf juice. Okay, so these have helped me. All nasty things. Okay, I mean, my day used to begin with all these sour stuff.
I'm familiar with the taste.
So it used to all happen like this. Like you say, what is that called? Moringa powder. Okay, moringa powder is what I used to take. So these are certain things. So what happened after chemo? One was the weakness. Another was that excessive heat. Excessive heat, because already my ovary was out. So I was dumped with menopause and all those reactions, and my body was not that prepared that to take that hit. Okay, so already there were a lot of medicines which were coming on my way, and it had heated up me so much that you won't believe that how I used to, I used to sweat. Okay, if suppose I'm shouting a little, on my daughter, I would end up sweating, and it was that severe. Okay, and so that to counter that, I had to take a lot of chia seeds and coconut water, and which I also right now I also continue with that. Then another important thing which Dr. Nikhil mentioned me was curcumin. Okay, so I used to have this haldi water, turmeric water, every day. First thing in morning, I used to have that glass of water, because curcumin helps in curing cancer. Okay, and the best part, if you ask me, of that treatment was I used to have eggs every day, and eggs is something which I like. Okay, so I used to, when I to uplift my mood. So my husband used to ask me this question very often, which is the thing which you like most in this your entire journey of 1.5 years? I used to say eggs. And just to add humor to it, so my in-laws, okay, my mother-in-law, um, she's a very religious minded. Okay, so not every day can you have eggs, Mondays, Tuesdays, this day and that day. So she has this kind of a funda. But though that period, and even now, she always said, no, please have, you should be having it, whatever doctor has advised you. So I was so pleased that there's no one to tell me that you cannot have, so that's how I have, taken care of it. Yeah.
That's amazing, ma'am, because it's very hard to, find happiness and, liking in a uh, very hard situations, but you still manage and support from your family.
Yes.
That's all you need at the end of the day.
Right, right, right.
So, ma'am, during this hardships, like for example, as you said, the treatments were high dose, and some days were very uh, stressful and hard to take. So, how did you manage your emotional and mental well-being during those days?
Wonderful question. Very wonderful question. I'm though smiling at this point in time, but it was very difficult because after every chemo, the first 3-4 days made me feel that whether at all I will be able to stand on my own feet, because I couldn't stand on my own feet. I always needed some support to hold me, to lift me from the bed, okay, then to help me to walk. I came out of my OT with 6 tubes hanging from my body. And then when I reached from hospital, when I came home, I was carrying 4 tubes. Okay, they were coming out of my body. So after all this, it's not easy. It would be very, I would be lying if I say that I was losing hope. Okay, I was losing hope, and every moment seeing my daughter, who was, and she actually, what happened, my husband, after she was born, in 1.5 years, he had to travel. Okay, he had to live in Sholapur. So my daughter is, although she is very attached to her dad, but more so with me, because throughout the day I am associated with her. And all of a sudden she saw that Ma is not full-fledgedly, doing things with me. So whatever she is asking me, at times I had to say, no, sorry, I can't do it. No, sorry, I can't. It's a bare minimum. Her homework and her assignments is still what I could support, not beyond that. Almost of the time it's her grandmother who was around. She used to, my mother-in-law, she used to help her. But although she, and then along with COVID, so twice it was COVID, and 14 days she was kept away from me, absolutely. She used to only see me from a distance. So those are certain times, my heart used to cry more than the chemotherapy. The pain I used to go through while taking that chemo inside, it was more heartfelt trauma for me to see my daughter being away from me, especially during those COVID days, when she used to see from a distance and she used to cry. That, why aren't you allowing me? You are sitting, still you are not allowing me. You are all fine, but still you are not allowing me to come closer to you. You know, so those are the times when I was very emotionally down, and it was very hard time. None of my I lost my father by that point in time. It's nice that he left, because he wouldn't have digested this news. It could have been even more painful for me. My mom couldn't come over. So it was very, very emotionally very drenching. And but I would say I had a very supportive husband. Okay, so he used to always tell me that, that's okay, you will come out of it, you definitely will come out of it. And he used to give me, certain references, that you see Manisha Koirala, what she is doing. See, she has scaled mountain. She used to send me snaps. So I also definitely gained strength seeing the survivors, because I know they have gone through this tunnel which I am passing through. Okay, and when I see these guys, so it was just a matter of time probably that I have to come out of it. And there were good days also. There were good days also when my daughter used to come back home with a good report card, or if my medical reports were very good. I did not miss any chemotherapies, even due to COVID. It was just 15 days delay which has happened in the corresponding therapies. Not a single therapy was missed. So these are certain instances which helped me grow. And of course, the books which I kept reading in those point in time, although it was difficult for me to concentrate because my eyesight used to, I couldn't even look at one thing for a long time. My body was so weak, so weak. So yeah, so it happens. You get the strength. God helps you with it.
Ma'am, I can give a word on that. Your daughter would be very proud of her mother because she had gone through a lot, but still smiling bright at the end of the day. So ma'am, what worked you the best during this journey? What helped you the best?
I think the positive bent of mind and the trust which I had on my physicians, because my physicians always told me that stay positive and it will see medicines, therapies will happen in its own way. But if we are taking it in a good stride, that I am healing and this problem which is happening, see it, I'm not going to the micro level problems which I've gone through, every step, every um how should I put it, like every step that I used to put gave me pain, because it was a huge surgery which I went through, and after that surgery, when so the chemos initially were very painful, but post surgery chemos were further painful for me, because that time the organ was not there, and only where that chemo impacted was on my colon, on my um, I don't know exactly where, but then it led to lot of other complications, further complications. So eating, digesting, living, walking, everything was very painful. But I have taken that stride, thinking that I am going to come out of this tunnel and I am surviving each day, because perhaps there is something kept in front of me which I need to achieve, because of which I am going through all this. So I have always supported myself with that kind of a environment. It's not that I have not seen the otherwise, there were a lot of views, news, um, talks, like why this, we should not be talking about it, why this has happened to our family and all that. But then I tried to shut my ears for those conversations and let only those things inside my system which would help me to heal. Okay, so that has been a conscious effort from my end, and I even do that, even now I do that, because even now I am smiling, I'm doing all of it, I'm bringing back, but there are a lot of things which I'm going through, right? I have little arthritic attacks on my left knee. My left knee has lost that strength which I used to have, you know. So I have to go through a very regular physical regime. Okay. It's tremendously heatedness that I feel, heat waves, heat shocks. I go through them regularly. So for to contain that heat, I have to take a lot of things. I have to avoid a lot of things. So which is part and parcel. See, these small things I don't want to emphasize, because looking at the big picture, these small things are trivial. That I am living, that I am able to see my child grow in front of me, take part in her life, help her like a normal child. I'm helping my child to grow. I think that's a tremendous boon, that's a tremendous blessing, and I have no areas, no point in complaining what I'm going through. I'm happy, I'm good, and I just want to live like this. And with this, if I can help somebody else, that will be my accomplishment.
Yeah, ma'am. Your thought actually matters. The self affirmation that one should have is the greatest medicine, I would say, during the treatment.
You are absolutely bang on. Self-affirmation, that belief system, that telling yourself that I'm fine. Because what I have realized, this is me, but there is another me inside me also. And my body, see, we talk, we say thank you to many people, but we don't say thank you to our body. I don't know how are you taking these thoughts of mine, but I have realized this, that if my body hadn't supported my mind, I wouldn't have been living this moment. So I'm extremely thankful how my body has supported me, actually.
Beautiful. So, ma'am, you said that you had so many lifestyle changes during the treatment. So, what exactly could you please specify? Like, what are lifestyle changes you had during the treatment, and also what you follow after the treatment now also?
Right, right. So first and foremost, there were four things which my Dr. Nikhil Parvati mentioned, that be like an army man. These were his comments. Be like an army man and try to do these things every day without a single day of gap, which is have the turmeric water, have palak soup, have an egg, and have little bit of nachni in any form. So my day used to begin with having that turmeric water, which I used to prepare. Initially, my husband used to help me preparing it, and later on, I picked it up. So I used to have that glass of water. I used to take an egg every day. And then I used to have palak soup every day. Okay. And along with it, I used to have nachni, either in the form of porridge or maybe in the form of biscuit. I used to bake, biscuits, nachni biscuits, and then have it in with tea or something in the evening. So this is something. Later on, what happened was exercises, especially I couldn't do during the treatment. These are the four things which I did, and of course with a positive bent of mind, which for me was to cater to my child, her problems, her whims and fancies. And then I have a neighbor, my next door neighbor. There we have a very small kid, so she was just barely I think 6 months when I was detected. And, I used to bring her at our house, so playing with her, see her grow, see my daughter grow. I was busy. I was throughout the day, I was busy. Night, when I used to go and hit the bed, I used to fall asleep. Okay. After my entire chemotherapy is over, is now what I have continued what I used to do. Along with that, I have started taking giloy, I have started taking wheatgrass intermittently, of course, not every day. Moringa powder is something which I keep taking. And I have taken up exercises into my system. So either it is a pranayama, or it is a yoga, or it is my knee, like joints exercise. These are, and of course cycling. Because what happened was, Dr. Nikhil mentioned, so that in order to strengthen your knees, you should do cycling more. So I have started that, and that is something which I try to do, because now that I've joined work and it is full time with daughter, school has started. I have a mother-in-law here, so there are a lot of familial responsibilities also. But even then, I try to follow these things on a regular basis.
So, ma'am, what were your three top learnings from this journey?
What a wonderful question. What a wonderful question. Okay. See, I feel, first of all, I'm blessed. Okay. I feel blessed that I went through this journey, because it's a life changing journey. Okay. Cancer is a life changing disease. I'm definitely have done something good. That's why I have been struck with this, because the learnings which I have received post going through this is tremendous. First and foremost, what comes to the top of my mind is acceptance. Acceptance is the most important key. There is no point in crying. There is no point in blaming anybody or myself or my fate or the God that, why have I been struck with this? Rather, accept it and move ahead. Okay. Follow the steps. You don't have to do anything spectacular or, anything It's a very simple thing. Just follow the steps, what your medical oncologist or medical physicians, whatever they suggest you, follow this. After the treatment, you will be all fine. You will be all fine. That's a affirmation from myself. The second thing is that I was a different kind of a person. I was very process oriented. I was pursuing a PhD program just before I went into this particular ailment, and I had a very busy schedule, and I felt that okay, I have to do this, and I was quite unaware of my surroundings. That has happened because I was not taking enough care of myself. Not it's only the child and the responsibilities, work, my own professional goals, personal goals. These things have kept me very busy. Okay, but after this, when I saw that everything came to a halt for me, it was a full stop, big full stop, which I could see in front of me. And I had to, push it aside and then make a path for myself. Okay. So while making the path, I have realized that it is better, taking small steps in life and not being stressed out, having a big goal in front, which makes me more scary and afraid that how will I be able to achieve. So rather than, it's not that I'm not having a big picture in my mind right now. As I mentioned, I started off with a very big aim and a goal in front. I don't know how will I achieve, but that doesn't that doesn't create any stress inside me, because I feel if that is why I have survived, I will definitely reach there. There will be something coming out of eternity which will take me to there. And probably today that I'm speaking to you is a sign for me that, I am, my direction, these small steps will take me to where I want to achieve or where I want to reach. Okay. So I'm not really worried what is going to happen. I used to be very paranoid with where am I, I in my personal growth and my professional growth. Right now, I'm more calm and more composed, because I feel there are certain things which is, if it is destined for me, it is going to happen. Nobody can take it from me. Okay, so better I thinking about future. Let me not waste my today's moment. Okay, so right now I'm more focused in my today and now than thinking about the future. Okay, and the last thing is what I feel is, it's not that I wasn't helpful or I wasn't social or I wasn't doing not this friendly, but right now I value human asset, or rather, how should I put it, in terms of, I have now started thinking that it's not about what I achieve, it's about what I am here to offer for. Okay, so what I achieve or what I will receive, I will receive. Nobody is going to. So that has affirmed in me that whatever I am destined to get in this life, I will get it. Let me not put my thoughts there or get me unnecessarily stressed. Rather, what I am now focused at is what can I deliver or what can I offer to others. And whichever way it is possible, I am preparing myself and I'm there to offer. So that's are my three most important learnings from the host of learnings and the wishes that I have, come up with. But these are the three cardinal ones.
Amazing, ma'am. So, what would be a message that you want to deliver to the cancer patients, caregivers who will be listening you?
Okay. See, for patients, I will say that it's okay. See, the first thing that thought that comes to our mind is that why me? Why me? Of all people, why me and my family is going through this crisis? I would say that it's okay. Accept it. It has come, accept it, and try to come out of it the best possible manner. And the best possible manner would be to remain calm. to remain calm. It's no point in get yourself in a to perturb yourself more. Rather accept the pain. I can't say that you enjoy the pain. That's a I have not enjoyed my pain, but the acceptance, will help you to will bring down the effect of that pain little bit, and try to put yourself into something which is around, rather than, I will not be able to do this task. My submission will be, engage yourself with whatever task is around you, and it is possible at your from your way. Engage yourself. If it is playing, if it is being with your kids, like in my case, I have submitted myself to my kid, at that point in time, and that helped me to come out of it. And I was telling you, I got another kid. So people used to ask me, Uma, you have two daughters? I said, no, 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 I have one. So, the little one used to come and used to ask me, I want this, I want that. I used to play with her, I used to give her. So more than, and I'm so grateful to her mother also, that she has completely allowed me to raise her daughter along with mine, and that took the majority of my time, and I was very happy with them. So you will have to find your own happiness. That's my message to the patients, that find your own happiness. It is a painful journey, no doubt about it, but the journey is going to come to an end. So even if it is hard times or bad times, that also comes to an end. Good times also comes to an end. So don't think that now that you're going through a hardship, you would not see the rays of sun tomorrow. Have that hope instilled in your heart. Rather, you every day focus on your hope that you are getting little and little better. Even if that pain survives, still tell yourself that I am better. My body is helping me. And you take it from me, it creates wonders. The more I give myself that affirmation that my body is helping me to come out of it, it will help you further. It will help you further. So that is something which I want to tell people, that if I have survived, so will you. Have faith, have that, let that hope, add more power to that hope inside. And I think God has created all of us. If he has given us this disease, he has given us that enough strength also to come out of it. So be rest assured that your body knows how to fight with it. But you have to be with your body. You have to stand by yourself now. So forgetting everything on earth, right now, you have to stand by yourself and tell yourself that I am with you and I'm going to support you. So you will come out of it.
That was very insightful message. So, ma'am, at the end, if you want to sum up this journey of up and downs in just a one sentence, what would it be?
My God, you are really asking me very tough questions. I'm very, very happy to have knowing you and to come here on your platform. So I think, as I was saying, that, I think there are certain bigger goals for me to achieve and to deliver on this planet, because of which I have gone through this pain. Because unless and until I have gone through this pain, I wouldn't know what I am capable of offering. I'm not saying that I'm aware about it, but now I have changed my directions, and more than see myself grow, I want to grow along with others. So I think this change in me has been brought about by this disease. Okay, and I'm so very grateful and thankful to God for um, taking me through this kind of an experience, because this experience is an eye-opening experience, and no other book or no other course. So I am a Bengali coming from Presidency College. So I was always after this certification, I will do this. I was taking a PhD, but I feel what this disease has taught me, perhaps no book on this earth would actually help me realize what I have realized. Okay, I just want to help. My mission now is to create something which actually brings a smile and brings a sigh of relief, in the lives of others. And I think perhaps that's the reason I have gone through this. It was not summed up in one sentence. Please pardon me for that.
No, ma'am, it's hard to actually sum up this long journey, so I can understand. So, ma'am, thank you so much. It was really, really inspiring to listening to you, and also thank you so much for sharing your this brave experience and how you overcame and everything. It was very, very insightful and very inspiring. So, ma'am, all the very best for your future endeavors. Thank you so much for being part of Cancer Healing Journey session. Take care, ma'am. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. And thank you for your patience. You have a lovely, persona, and you have asked me some great questioning. I'm so glad that, perhaps if I get a second chance somewhere else, I will be prepared there. See, these are kind of questions which can come to me. So it was wonderful coming here and knowing you, and we shall be connected. And as I mentioned, that if I'm of any help to your organization, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be more than happy to render support in any form.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Nice
thank
knowing
you
you.
so much, ma'am.
Yes, same
Take
here.
care, ma'am.
Same here. Take care. Have a nice day.
Same. You too, ma'am.
Bye.